Hi everybody, and welcome back to Axiom Token Channel. So in this video we're going to look at a beginner's guide to a pulse chain. So that's pulse chain, and it's going to be headed up by Hex token founder Richard Hart, and it's coming up pretty soon. Now it's basically going to be in two phases. There's going to be a sacrifice phase. We're going to find out how that long that runs for, but typically currently expected at about 30 days. And then the second phase is actually the launch of the pulse chain mainnet, which will basically be a fork of the Ethereum blockchain and all the ERC20 tokens on it. Now we're going to check out exactly what the Pulse Chain is all about for beginners. So if you haven't heard about Pulse Chain, you're in cryptocurrency, you want to learn more about it, watch this video. We're going to go through the latest update on the pulsechain.com site, and I'll make a few comments as we go to give you a few insights that I may have that helps you understand it. Now it's going to probably be the biggest airdrop in cryptocurrency history. It is a big deal, and it goes well beyond the Hex community into all the ERC20 communities, plus some of the major coins on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko if you're used to looking at those. So I hope you enjoy this video, and subscribe, like and share, hit the bell for further notifications. And of course, if you want to find out more about Axiom token and Axiom staking, wrap Bitcoin dividends as well, you can check out all the videos on the site. Very cool indeed. So let's just get straight into it. Hope you enjoy this one. Let's go. So here we are. You can actually see we're on the actual main site here, and you can see that we've got the main page. It says Pulse Chain. Now this is pulsechain.com. I'll leave the link in the video description if you want to have a look at it yourself. Now this will get updated as we get closer to the launch. Now the launch of the sacrifice phase, which is the first phase, there's two phases, is coming up pretty shortly, and we'll check this out now. So look, energy efficiency, a cheaper, faster, fee-burning Ethereum fork. So a fork's basically just copying over the Ethereum network and adding some real advantages to it, new features, and making it superior in most cases. So let's have a quick look. These are just a few of the ideas you guys talk about. Have no expectations of the work of others. Get your ideas out there. So let's have a quick look here. Pulse chain goals. So the first one is to increase the Ethereum value, and this where Ethereum fees will be lowered by sharing its load. So at the moment, Ethereum blockchain fees are quite high, and even with low Gwei prices, which is the price of Gwei, even if it gets down to like 30 Gwei, the transactions are still relatively high. 30 Gwei, for example, you might get a transfer at $2, but if you're doing a smart contract, you're still looking at like $20 for Uniswap or something like that, and maybe $15. And so if you're doing even more complicated smart contracts with loops and stuff like that into them, then you're still looking at $60, $80 with the low Gwei. So this is really trying to solve those issues, as well as take some of the pressure off the Ethereum blockchain. Now Ethereum blockchain theoretically does about 25 transactions per second, but in reality does probably about 8 to 10 and at max capacity. So it's got a real congestion issue that really pushes up those ETH prices as well. The other side of it, of course, is that the throughput isn't big enough, and so ETH 2.0, which is coming along, is going to try and do 100,000 transactions as sharding gets put in place, and then the final docking of Ethereum 1.0 with Ethereum 2.0 happens, but we just don't know when that's going to be. Is it going to be later this year or early next year, mid-year next year? And so that really is an issue, and so Pulse is going to be solving that issue, helping to take some of the load off the Ethereum blockchain, but also it creates its own value and opens up a lot of new features. So let's continue on. So the second one is enrich ETH users. Pulse Chain will enable priced out use cases, and that's what I was saying. Instead of launching empty, Pulse Chain brings the ETH system state and ERC20s, that's all the tokens that are on Ethereum. This rewards holders and founders of Ethereum-based projects. The third one, enrich ERC20 and NFT users. So the launch of the Pulse Chain is the largest airdrop in history, and thousands of Ethereum-based tokens and NFTs receive their free Pulse Chain versions. It's kind of like the new Gold Rush, contains the value discovery of thousands of tokens and NFTs on Pulse Chain. So there'll be a massive price discovery on the Pulse Chain for all those ERC20 tokens in terms of their price compared to the ETH chain prices, as people price them up from pretty much zero. If you always wanted to be a whale in a certain ERC20 or NFT, maybe you can be now. Is one of the things. It's going to be easy to use. So basically you can use your MetaMask wallet, just works. You only have to change a single setting to access Pulse Chain, which will probably be the network setting with adding an RPC so that you can actually trade interact with the Pulse chain. ETH holders can transact for free with freemium PLS. So if you've got ETH in the Ethereum blockchain, that will get copied over and you'll get some Pulse in the Pulse chain. So that'd be pretty neat, and you can use that to pay your fees, which will be in Pulse. Lower Pulse chain fees and serve more users. So that's the next one. Pulse chain increases the throughput of Ethereum by 4 times. So you can see it really deals with the congestion issue that's in Ethereum at the moment, and really complements it as well, or supplements it. By using 3-second block times, there's a big deal. Ethereum's average block time is around 13 seconds. So it shows you a bit how it does that, and so forth. So it's pretty neat. Now, remove pollution by replacing proof of work miners with proof of stake validators. Pulse chain doesn't burn waste any energy, making it environmentally friendly. So you might have seen Elon Musk talk about Bitcoin with all the electricity it takes to do proof of work, and that was where computers are actually confirming the blocks on the blockchain, and it takes a lot of energy. Some say it's the amount of a small country, and so that does have environmental impacts if you look at some of those things, and obviously with moving the proof of stake, that's going to take away a lot of the energy use, so very eco-friendly, as it were. Now, improved game theory. PLS has 0% inflation, and validators only earn fees, and 25% of the fees are burnt to reduce the circulating supply. So it's really got that deflationary part there to reduce that fee, that circulating supply. So very nice there, very good for price appreciation as well. And empower Pulse chain holders. Pulse chain's native token Pulse, which will be PLS there, can be staked and delegated to validators, which is the proof of stake, and are rewarded and reward the delegators with the largest percentage of fees, who basically delegators confirming those blockchain stuff. So project status, let's have a quick look at that. So you can actually go up to the top here, and it will actually take you to this one here. You know, go along the menu at the top there. Project status. Pulse chain has a private testnet up and running. So basically that's a copy of the blockchain that's running on a testnet rather than being mainnet, which is the second phase, as we talked about earlier. Mainnet's coming up, and that's when it's basically live and running, and people can buy and sell and move tokens around on that network. And add, do contracts as well. Up and running, mining 3-second blocks. The full Ethereum state is injected with a bi-directional replay protection. That's a technical speak, so you don't need to know that unless you want to Google that for yourself. Next on the roadmap is unique address per chain, per sacrifice address, and validator rotation. So that sacrifice is the first stage, so we're going to get into that as well. More details about the sacrifice phase will be released soon, so that's coming out soon, so you want to be involved in that. That's where most of the Pulse is going to be issued, and if you want to become an early Pulse whale, a bit like becoming an early Ethereum whale, then you want to enter that sacrifice address with something of value. It's going to be based on US dollars, and so you're going to have to sacrifice something that you've got, potentially an ERC20 token, or one of the main coins on CoinMarketCap like Ethereum or Bitcoin. You sacrifice it to a particular address. You're going to go log onto a platform and with your MetaMask wallet, and then send your sacrifice amount to there. Obviously you won't get that back, but in return, further, once the sacrifice phase is finished, you'll get all your Pulse. So it's going to be pretty awesome. You're going to get tons of Pulse, and then there'll be price discovery on the Pulse, and that could be very exciting. And obviously over long-term, Pulse will be a major token in crypto land. So we'll see where the price discovery goes to. Some say maybe 1 cent, some say maybe even high as 14, 15 cents, something like that, parity with Ethereum. So we'll see. You just don't know, but I think it's pretty big game changer with the superior layer 1 blockchain. So it's pretty exciting. All right, so let's have a quick look at the bridging. So obviously, if you've got Ethereum chain and you've got a Pulse chain, you need to bridge between the two, have some trading pairs that mix, and you can swap tokens over between the two. That's what we mean by bridging. So ETH can be traded on the Pulse chain network, and PLS can be traded on the Ethereum network. Bridging can also be done to other smart contract capable networks. So that could be like future Cardano or something like that. So there we are. ETH on Pulse chain. You can send ETH to the Pulse chain bridge contract on the ETH, which locks it and issues a PETH, which is is the equivalent of ETH on Pulse chain, which is Pulse ETH on the Pulse chain at a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you send 1 ETH over, you're going to get 1 Pulse ETH on the other side on the Pulse chain. So that's where Pulse on Ethereum, you can send Pulse to the ETH bridge contract on Pulse chain, which locks it and issues a EPLS, ETH Pulse, on the Ethereum network. So Pulse will also be on the Ethereum network as EPLS. So that's what it's going to be, ETH Pulse. and that's going to be on to 1-to-1 ratio. This can also work for ERC20s. So you can see we're going to have two chains, the Ethereum chain, the Pulse chain, and there's going to be bridges between them, and you can cross back and forth with your main tokens, PLS, Pulse, and Ethereum, and plus your ERC20 tokens from Ethereum over to the Pulse version, which you're basically getting a copy. So if you've got everything that you've got on ERC20, you're getting a copy on the Pulse chain. So it's been very exciting times for all holders. Very cool. All right, let's go to trading and see where that's up. So thousands of ERC20 tokens on Pulse chain can trade on Pulse chain's Uniswap and similar at launch, since Ethereum state is included. So that's pretty exciting. I'll just read that one more time so you get that. So typically people on Ethereum are trading on Uniswap as the biggest DEX in the world, decentralized exchange for Ethereum. Thousands of ERC20 tokens on Pulse chain can trade on Pulse chain's Uniswap and similar at launch. So there's going to be a Uniswap version there for Pulse chain, since Ethereum state is included. Very exciting. There will be an ePulse to ETH pair on Uniswap on the Ethereum network, and a Pulse ETH to Pulse pair on the Uniswap on the Pulse chain. So very cool. Uniswap's involved, and we're going to have copies on Ethereum. We're going to be able to trade on Ethereum and trade on Pulse and both tokens. So very exciting stuff there. There may be ePulse trading pairs on other smart contracts enabled as well. So that's very exciting also. So if you're holding other smart contracts, that might work as well. Exchanges may list PLS and any of the thousands of tokens on the Pulse chain network as well. So huge upside there with exchanges, and obviously coin indexes as well, like CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, that sort of thing. And we'll just have to wait and watch out for that. All right, so nomenclature, let's read that. And anything locked on the Ethereum network bridge to the Pulse network will be known as P, and then it's got anything. Example, Pulse ETH for ETH locked on Ethereum bridge for the Pulse network. Hex is known as Hex, short for Hex on the Ethereum network. So if you're holding Hex, which was the original token from Richard Hart, and it's obviously been probably the best performing token over the last year. That's up 1,000x in US dollar terms, and I think almost 200 times versus Bitcoin. So that's Hex, and that will be known on Hex as eHex, and while Hex on Pulse chain, it's going to be called pHex, short for Hex on the Pulse chain network. So that's pretty exciting stuff there. That's the new update. Now, if you're not involved in Pulse chain, I do say you should look at it. It's going to be probably the biggest event in crypto this year, as well as the biggest airdrop as well, possibly in the history of cryptocurrency. So you can go click on the open Telegram, get into that chat, and you'll get lots of information as it comes to you there. Great discussion as well. They have also voice discussions. The other side of it is that they also pin the latest information at the top of that, and you can actually click through the pins at the top of the Telegram there and see all the latest stuff there. Obviously, we're going to do further updates on this channel as well. And once again, the first stage is coming up, sacrifice, where people are going to go and sacrifice tokens that they don't get back, but in return they'll get be early people for the Pulse chain. And if it does anything like what Hex does, wow, that'd be pretty amazing. Like I say, Hex is up over 1,000 times US dollars version, and over almost 200 times Bitcoin. So pretty amazing stuff there. And Pulse is going to be a big deal. Now it's gone way across. It's spreading like wildfire, the news. And you can already see that. Obviously, Hex has already been on a tear, and it's all about the US dollar value. The more US dollars that you put in there, so if you're going to put 1,000 or 2,000 US dollars, for example, in the sacrifice address of a particular token, you can choose anyone you wish. Hex, for example, then that will go off the market. Now, a little insight too from Richard was that potentially that there could actually take the supply further down onto the market if the sacrifice address holder doesn't do anything with it, then that would mean there'd be less on the market. So it's really good for price support for Hex as well, and obviously that could impact other tokens too. So hope you enjoyed that one. Feel free to subscribe, like and share, hit the bell for the notifications, and we will be letting you know as soon as the first stage, sacrifice stage, starts, and also we'll look at the second main launch start as well. So that's all going to take in place over the next probably 1 to 3 months, and so we're going to check that out as we go. Now there will be a snapshot time, and it will probably be just before the mainnet, so we're going to watch where that will come as well. It'll be a snapshot of Ethereum. Every token that you've hold in your liquid there will be snapshotted over. If you're in Hex, of course, the stakes that you have will also be snapshotted as well, and that's a very important date. So we're expecting some interesting things for particular assets as they get priced up to get more US dollars. It sort of benefits your own bag if that's higher, as well as you're going to be able to put that into the sacrifice address and get more of the pulse. So it's going to basically 10,001. So it's going to be pretty exciting stuff there. Hope you enjoyed this one. Subscribe, like, and share. Hit the bell for notifications, and I'll catch you in the next one. And once again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. Cheers.